So, this is pretty much my scripted attempt at explaining pretty much all my characters. I'll try to be as descriptive as possible so you can better understand the full story. So, for those who don't know, I'm working on my series, Aura. It's split into 4 more parts: Groundbreaker, Origins, Reminiscence, Forevermore, and Mishap. You can find the full version of Aura Forevermore and the older version of Aura Origins, which I plan on rewriting later, on my Wattpad, which will be in the description. Now, I'll start with the characters based on their appearance in the books, then by importance to the story. So, I'm doing something that's a little old, you could say. As I pull it up right now, this is a separate take from about 2 months in the future. Yeah, I haven't covered this in a while, so it is going in depth. So, the first person is Mystaal, of course, because he's my pretty much main character in most of the stories, in Aura series. So, Matt lived in the Alpha timeline made by its creator, who we'll call Sang-yi for now. He is the first character we meet and follow in Aura Groundbreaker. He lives a normal life, the eldest child for both his parents, that is until 1155 EXE shows up. Taking control of Matt's body, his appearance will be recognized as Matt for the rest of the series. But this isn't the last that we see of him. Sang-yi gives Matt a second chance by transporting his soul and body to Solstice Meadow. At this point, he has no memory of any time or any event taking place during Aura Groundbreaker. This is where Mystaal is given redemption, thus that is his aura. Mystaal is very empathetic and sometimes too naive for his own knowing. In the end, it leaves him trusting the wrong person, and he has this weight on his shoulders, mostly because of the many passings of the characters he meets. He is an adult figure Davis looks up to, which only adds more to the stress. But after going through his adventure, he and the Auras get to embark to find a new place to call home. Unfortunately, this is the exact thing 1155 EXE wanted. Now that the protagonist was out of the universe and was gone, the world was erased, leaving the only two anomalies, Davis and 1155 EXE, alone with one another. You get my point. Another. During the time of Reminiscence, Forevermore, and Mishap, Mystaal lives in the universe U001, a universe that Sang-yi no longer has interest in, and abandons. It is only around the time of Aura Mishap that Mystaal finds out what his vital mistake was in Aura Origins. He blames himself for not trusting Amu so quickly. At the end of the series, he's most likely had his problems with Davis resolved and is living the rest of his days with the rest of the Auras. Next is Tyson Arona, or Ty for short. Tyson was created by Sang-yi to be a side character for Matt. He has a twin sister, Tyler, and a younger brother named Davis. He works as a news article photographer for the town newspaper. He and his twin had some bumps and arguments in the past around high school, mainly because they drifted away from each other as time went on. Tyson is a sort of person who cannot thrive on his own, so this was a problem until Matt, of course. Matt was one of his closest friends, and they both graduated in the same college. Besides being sometimes overwhelmed at a young age with work, he tries his best to give time for Davis, which he didn't really get with their parents since they were born. He is the last to die at the end of Aura Groundbreaker. The devastation of Tyler's loss hurt his spirit, and Davis's death shortly after did a lot of mental damage as well. His last moments were spent at home, crying to himself before dying to a bullet to the head. In Aura Origins, he also has no memory of Aura Groundbreaker. His personality stays the same, since it's what he's used to. Of course, he has more free time in Solstice Meadow. As of this moment in time, he goes as Ty. But he and Tyler die early on, leaving a lot of pressure on Davis. Luckily, he missed out on the Battle of Guards. He spends a lot of time being in the void for the rest of Aura Origins and Aura Reminiscence. You get my point. Now, in Aura Forevermore is Tyson's time to shine. After being stuck in this time void, more like a ghost if anything, he and Tyler's souls are reborn thanks to Davis's efforts. Tyson takes form, or at least tries to. He missed out on a huge chunk of his life, so he tries to spend the rest of it trying to make things memorable. After finding out the internet exists, he did know about the internet He more or less didn't use it for free time because of all the work he had before, but I think that's pretty much the same thing. He's found himself watching animes or learning more about the burning fire pit that is a toxic dump that I think we already know, but we don't want to speak about. At the end of Aura Forevermore, 1155 EXE ends up putting Tyson and Tyler, not Tyre, into files in his memory bank, meaning he can control their files whenever he pleases. At the end of Aura Mishap, he's freed along with his sister. He lives happily with his family, including, for the first time, his parents. And that concludes part 1. There's obviously some stumbles or mistakes, but I think overall I did okay. So in the next one, I think will be Davis, and I'm not sure who comes next after Davis. I think he has a longer running character profile than the rest of them, mainly because he's the character that you see the most. But yeah, bye.